You were tuned in to episode 144 of the Goodfellas podcast. It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. Got my main man with me, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K. What's going on, good brother?
Man, everything straight like 6 o'clock. I just got one little gripe with this betting on boxing, and I'm highly upset. You already know what fight I'm talking about.
We gonna definitely get to it. Just big shout out to everybody, man. Everybody to be supporting vlog, everybody be supporting Shane, supporting myself. You know what I'm saying? The legend as well. Big shout out to Ty Finney. And we just gonna cover what happened on Saturday. Interesting Saturday to say the least. Um Everybody's favorite Floyd Mayweather Jr. had a entertainment session with I don't even know what the guy's name is, but got a 6-round knockout, and we'll get into that in a second. Jana Beck got a victory over Bentley, which I thought was a better than expected fight for sure. I really didn't know what to think of that fight going in terms of entertainment value, but I definitely have some thoughts on that fight and Jana Beck as well. The fight that Vlog got his radars up a little bit. Montana Love went WWE on Cats and got disqualified, and we're gonna get into that as well. Richardson Hitchens was on that card as well. He got the dub. Our guy Raymond Ford got an impressive knockout victory, and he's really on the come up right now. And we just got a lot of stuff to talk about. So Vlog, we're gonna jump with you. Just tell us your weekend from the betting on boxing perspective, and then we can go ahead and get started.
Oh man, it was predictably good as normal. I'm usually hitting them when we get these big cards like that. You get this 8 to 12 fight sort of range to be able to pick and choose, get you some nice little parlays together. The thing with boxing is the payout. Payout is not like you bet on a 4 football game parlay. You're not going to get those same odds. So with boxing, you got to tweak it a little bit. You got to reach inside those prop bets, look for how the fight going to result, distance, KOs, things like that to really tweak a parlay even. So what I did was I looked for a bunch of fights to go to distance, things like that. So I ended up getting a parlay that was like 6-1, something like that. Put a half a unit on it. Ended up being a 9-fight parlay. Everything was looking good. You know, all the youngsters, everybody did what they did from Dezan all the way over to the top ranked card. Even had the Janabek fight going the distance. Kicked my original parlay up 2 points because originally the parlay was 4-1. Even at a 10-fight parlay, it was only paying 4-1. So I went back and looked for ways to get the payout a little higher, get some more value. So I was betting outside my norm. I usually don't bet a 50. I usually down to about 15, 20, quarter on something like that. But I decided to go ahead and put some extra money on it, thinking it was going to be a real sharp weekend with betting on the favorites. That being said, though, the fight in itself, the bull put too much into the promotion to me and not enough into the actual camp. He's like he's Broner-esque with the pre-celebration, with the conceitedness. Skills are skills. You gotta let your skills really be the forefront of all of that. You know what I mean? Everything else that you do supports your skills. You know what I'm saying? So it's like reversed with some dudes like that. It was reversed, started being reversed with Broner. To me, it looks like the same thing with this dude, Montana Love. Bro, this dude excuses after the fight. Bonkers. He putting up the scorecards all on the ground. Bro, he telling us how he broke the fight down as far as the dude having a lot of volume and nothing landed clean. What not understanding is the judges, they go off perception a lot of the time. So you can do that trying to talk to the casuals and explain your position to the hardcores. Explanation is in your actions, bro. You went, grabbed the man and hooked the rope to pull him and toss him over, bro. So to me, you was looking for a way out. Whether you after the fact thought you won that fight, during the fight you thought you were losing, and you looked for a way out the side door, bro. And that was terrible because you actually wasn't getting your ass beat. You were just getting overwhelmed. You wanted to come out there and look pretty, and you didn't get the cooperation. So then you got mad. Come on, bro. You costing me money when you doing shit like that. Stand on your square, bro. If you're gonna lose, fair and square, bro.
Right.
You got Nick. We can go back and find out whether the Nick was valid or not, whether it was a punch, whether it was a little scuff with the heads. It could have been the white boy was fighting a little wild. He wasn't precise with his punches. Even with, you could have volume, but it could be select volume. You know what I mean? He was just letting his hands go. That's cool and all, and that's good for him. You understand what I'm saying? But I just didn't like the reaction. I didn't like what he did because it cost me money. But just because I'm a boxing fan and it just don't look good. And then I'm a black man too, bro. So, you know what I mean? We supposed to have way more self-control than any other dude walking the planet, bro. So you lost your self-control and you made us all look bad. Let me mute this, man. The dog's going off over here, so
that's
I'm on
cool.
mute.
For the people that don't know who he's talking about, he is talking about Montana Love. He fought Stevie Spark, and it was in his hometown. And people, let's break that fight down, man. I love a fight like that because simply outside of the parlay thing and all of that, of course, like we want to see vlog in the green at all times. But just outside of that, really just breaking down that fight. The one thing that I'll say that I'm not sure about vlog is, and I can get insight on this. I don't know how his camp was. I don't know if it was a normal camp. I will find out though. I know my guy in Ohio, I'll reach out to him after the show and find out if he had a normal live. I know a normal camp because I know you're big on fighters that are heavy in the promotion side. Are they spending enough time actually training? So I know that's something that you really focus on. So I'll definitely get the particulars on that. I know somebody that's real close to that camp. Mm-hmm.
Can I say this? Mm-hmm. I understand. Like you gotta, if you do something as a profession, it's better to like what you do because you're more likely going to be better at it. And that's always a good thing. And that's across the board, whether you're in finances or anything that you do. It's always good to have a certain amount of like for what you do because it'll give you a certain natural drive. That being said, he was putting out training stuff, bro. Like he was making music videos. Like these dudes is dancing in the middle of working on mitts and things like that. I ain't see no real sparring in there. So a lot, this the modern day. These dudes share that course with us to a certain extent. They all do. You can go across anybody's Instagram and they show you bits of training. They also show you a little bit of their private lives, things like that. But it's a little bit of mixture what's going on. His, in this particular instance, heavy promotion. Like the promotion told him, bro, this is like how almost kind of like what Terrence Crawford was going through. Like, yo, only way you get in your bag is the Philly seats. Like, you know what I mean? Like it had to be something going on because he was heavy. I'm talking about he was putting out personal videos where he was saying, yo, I'm gonna be, hometown guy, come support your guy, blah, blah, blah. Again, bro, and he's already naturally a conceited dude. Nothing wrong with that. Believe in yourself. If you feel like you're a handsome dude and the females love you, I ain't no hater. But bro, it affected your actual skills. And I know you got skills, bro. So it's not the first time we've seen fighters do this, bro. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it before. You know what I mean? We just saw, can say in the and what's the dude name? He got knocked by Lopez in the first round. He let all the outside of the ring You know, a little
You
hype
talking
up
about
stuff. Host is
you talking about Josue?
Josue, yeah. I want to
Yeah.
say Jose, but it's Josue. Like how the outside the ring stuff can kind of take over your strategy, take over your concentration. And I just had that feeling this did, bro. He wanted to put on the show. It's like you had a dance partner and you doing the waltz, but they out there doing the caramba. You see what I'm saying? So it's not gonna make for a good show result for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what happened, bro. And I think he didn't anticipate getting what's the name? Getting disqualified. I think he anticipated time. Let me catch my
Um.
breath. Let me slow this dude momentum down. You see what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have time.
Right.
He fell out the ring. We gotta wipe his gloves, check his feet, things like that. You gotta do all of that sort of technical stuff. And to me, I thought that's what he thought. Because he definitely did it on purpose.
Yeah, I think I've been like following Montana Love like social media wise for a while. So the type of promotion he was putting out there is pretty normal for him. What I will say is that he did put out more than usual, and I think that's because the fight was in his hometown and is a DAZN card, and he's headlining, so he put a little extra oomph into it, which I don't have a problem with. The bottom line is all of that looks good when you perform. When you don't perform and you have all that going on, you leave a lot of questions to be had. And that's what Montana Love is going through today. Now, as far as what happened inside of the ring, my guy in here, let me get my guys in here real quick, man. My guy Adrian in the building, man. What's going on with you, bro? Big shout out to you, man. My guy Michael Johnson boxing talking more. What's popping? I'm glad you in here, man, because I definitely wanted you in here on this topic, man. Um, as far as Montana Love is concerned, I am a fan of Montana Love. I think he's entertaining. I think he's he taking a page out of the Broner book in terms of like the promotion and the entertainment value and all of that. Bottom line is he was looking for a bailout. He was looking for a bailout. You can't. Nobody can convince me otherwise. He was looking for a bailout. He just
That's why
was.
I disagree with you, bro. I don't think he was looking to bail out the fight. You know what I mean? I think he just needed a change of momentum. He needed to halt the momentum that was going on. He needed like it's almost like consistent to taking a knee, but you so mad you keep you swing yourself into a KO. So he didn't want to keep fighting to a loss, like based on the way he was fighting, based on what his opponent was doing. I thought that he really just was so angry, like Mike biting Tyson, like biting Holyfield ear. He let the moment
But
get to him.
but that's what I'm saying though. It was the severity of his act which made me believe
Me,
like he
I get you. I
yeah,
get you.
like he was looking for the bailout. I'll meet you in the middle of the street. Now, if he would have hit him, shot to the jewels real quick, you know what I'm saying? He get the warning, the guy get the 5-minute break or whatever. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm cool with that. Even if he purposely start, hitting him with rabbit shots just to get the referee's attention to get that little break that you're mentioning, then I'm cool with that. But when you
You
grab
know
a
what I
guy
would have
from the
liked?
leg and you literally throw him over the top rope WWE style, you know
Nah,
what I'm
for
saying?
me, it wasn't even that for me, Jeff. I'm telling you, what clinched it. What was the nail in the coffin is, bro, when you rushing him to the ropes and that natural momentum of you forcing him back, that can happen. So a fighter can go over naturally. But
Mm-hmm.
bro, you pulled the rope down, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled the
So
rope down,
he
bro.
knew
That's
exactly what he was doing.
confirmation
Can I,
you're doing this on purpose. My thing is,
bro?
if that was your intent, was to get this fight slowed down, let's do something like that, low blowish or whatever, rabbit punches whatever. Why not take them through the ropes? Why, if you're taking them over the top, that's different. You taking them through the ropes, you can kind of be like, yo, I lost control of my body weight, I'm stumbling. You know what I mean? Over the ropes. it's almost forceful. You know what I mean? Almost forceful, especially with the height that both of y'all had. Neither one of y'all are tall fighters. So
right.
It wasn't like you could do the natural momentum. Obviously, you got the weight differential, top heavy, that sort of thing. That can happen naturally. But in your situation, bro, or in his situation, rather, Love, Montana, bro, you pulled the rope down, bro. That was dirty right there.
Bro,
You know
I want to, no, facts, bro. I actually want to show, if I can find it, he actually
probably
had
showed on the gram.
he had a sparring session. He had a sparring session with a guy, and he was really it was similar, like he was heated, and he did something very similar in that sparring session. I actually have it, and I'm gonna show it.
That's his go-to move, basically.
That's not his go. It's close to his go-to move. It's close to his go-to move, man, for sure. Let me.
I thought he was a pull counter king. I thought I liked him for the pull
man,
counter.
He was pull. It was a pull over, not a pull counter.
Pull topple. He topple. That was nice though, landing on his feet, because that was a far drop, bro. You see the short apron drop. You see the short apron?
Yes, sir.
Bro, that shit look like a good 4 feet.
Yes, sir.
I mean, whoo, man.
Yes, sir.
It could have been terrible in my Charles Barkley voice. Could have been terrible.
Listen, bro, real rap. It's probably people thinking it's going to be like an immediate rematch. He's getting suspended.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. One of the dudes I rock with on the gram, Hardcore Boxing News. Shout out to him.
Big shout out to Hardcore Boxing News for sure.
Yeah, he said he's like what should happen for immediate rematch. I like, nah, Spark should take this momentum in a completely different direction, bro. Even though technically he was losing that fight, even with the knockdown, the judges still had him down on the card. So I'm just saying,
bro,
he still got momentum. He got public momentum.
Yeah,
and they the paying people, so that's what matters.
Let me see. Michael Johnson said WWF Royal Rumble style. That's a fact, bro.
Man, old school. WWF
old school.
For sure.
Willie G, what's going on? Said, what up, fellas? Big shout out to you, family. He said it's sometimes instinct to grab and wrestle when you get them bees dropped on you. I feel you. I want to show this actual clip, bro.
I don't know if it's from frustration of being punched or just like I said, but I don't think it was from the actual punches. I think it was from the non-cooperation. This dude isn't fighting the style that can make me look good in front of my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like your dance partner stepping on your toes. You're like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I agree, bro. 100%. Let me show you this joint real quick. I don't know if you ever seen this, bro. But I actually want to show it to you. So let me see. Can you hold on? Let's see.
Waiting on you.
Can you see the screen?
There we go.
Okay.
Oh so yeah, I think I did see this. Yeah, I did see this.
I'm gonna play it though. I'm gonna play it real quick.
Do what you do.
I don't want the body. I stopped him last week with body. Fuck the body. Oh shit. I want his mouth. Oh my God. Came around the corner after that. I'm gonna let you see this time. Shut up, bitch. I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, he got disrespect. Stupid ass. Hold up. Break. Hey, watch out.
Bro,
29.
That nigga.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
He need pure cooperation, bro.
Bro,
He need
I'm
pure
telling you,
cooperation, bro.
that's his go-to move, man. You seen he's about to put him over the
Yeah,
ropes. That ain't when I seen it, I was like, that ain't the first time I seen that shit, bro.
Yeah, I
That's not
remember
the first
that. I
time
remember
seen
that.
it. Yeah, man.
But
I agree with you 100%, man. Like you had everything laid out. He had everything laid out. So he
you know
had.
what this was, bro? This was his
Mhm.
title opportunity.
I'm
Not
gonna go one
even
step deeper than that. I'm gonna go one step deeper than that, bro. When you got a guy like him, very rarely do you get all of the spotlight that you want. 9 times out of 10, a guy that commands the spotlight, 9 times out of 10, they don't ever get it. This is the first time he actually got it. So he got the zone, main event, home game, and on top of that, if he gets the victory, he probably gets a Richardson Hitchens fight, which Eddie Hearn was going to pay both of them real well, and all the cameras is on him. He had everything he wanted. And the one thing that you said is 100% true. Mr. Spark just didn't cooperate. And I'm going to tell you this, bro. Now, I'm a big fan of his trainer, of Montana Love's trainer. And that's different from the guy that does his pads. His pad guy is crazy. But his actual trainer is really solid. He trains Thomas Matisse too. So he got a nice little stable. It looked like Montana Love didn't do his homework on his opponent. That's what it looked like to me. He almost looked like in shock, like, what the hell is you're not supposed to be bum rushing me like this? Like he almost looked like in shock. You know what I'm saying? Like he slipped the dude a down payment, like, hey, listen, just just lay down after a couple rounds, and dude just ain't lay down. And he was looking like, what the fuck is going on? He looked in complete shock, and Spark didn't cooperate. But you find out a lot about a guy in a fight like that. And that's why I always said, a lot of people said this fight reminded them of Broner and Chino. And I said, listen, Broner took a lot of heat for that Chino fight. I said, but Broner got up off his ass and he won 4 rounds straight. Before that second knockdown, that fight was damn near even. So I said, Broner did show some heart in that fight. He showed some bitch in him too, but he showed some heart in that fight as well at certain points. I said, nah, this is different. I said, Montana Love was like you said, when you bend the rope down and you throw the guy over the rope, like that's insane. The last time I seen that was when remember when Riddick Bowe got into the Riddick Bowe was fighting the dude, he pushed him over the jaw.
That's what Riddick Bowe was more using leverage, using dudes correct. You know what I mean? But he didn't push the rope down. But you're still doing what you're doing on purpose. You know what I'm saying? You're using his leverage against him to get him over the rope. So Riddick Bowe did the same thing. This bro, you gotta keep your cool, bro. We go through a lot. Fighters go through a lot. You got the lights on you. You trying to appease your hometown fans. There's a lot of pressure on him. That's when you're supposed to be at your coolest. This Mr. Cool, this Mr. Pink himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you supposed to have been the coolest under that pressure. Don't fight the pressure. Sidestep the pressure. Do what I was just saying. Pull counters. You didn't even have to waste a lot of shots on this dude. Just let this dude run into some things. He gonna slow down naturally. No one's gonna do that for 12 rounds.
And bro,
or 10 rounds or whatever.
And this is the thing, bro. Like a lot of times when you fighting a dude like that, they're so focused on bum rushing, and they're anticipating you moving back or just avoiding the contact. It's kind of like football when you got a guy like that and he's the running back, you got to be the linebacker and just meet him at the hole. You know what I'm saying? And just had that collision a couple times. You have a collision like that with a guy like that a couple times, he gonna be like, oh, all right, he's drawing that line. It's gonna make him think before he gets to your front door. Montana Love never made him think. He allowed him to just bum rush. My thing,
another way, like you said, meet the pressure. So okay, accept the pressure. You're not dealing with a guy that's a one-punch killer. So even if I let him get this 4 or 5 punch weak combination, you know, because more likely a lot of that shit was trash from what I saw. I didn't watch the whole fight, I'm not gonna lie, but I caught enough of it to see how it went. It was only 4 rounds, so damn near caught the whole fight, to be honest. Now that I think about it. That being said, you could see this dude accuracy was off. So just guard up, and then you get off when he's done. You're the cleaner puncher, you're the sharper puncher. Get yours off. He's not fighting the full 3 minutes. He's not throwing punches the full 3 minutes. So in between of that, you can absorb it. At times, get off your bicycle, sit down, put your feet down in the sand, and get it off from that point as far as absorbing whatever this garbage he's throwing. Because dude did not look good. It looks good from a strategy. That was a great strategy. Overwhelm him, keep the accurate fighter off base. Great strategy. But at some point, go ahead. My bad.
Can I quote? It was Roger Mayweather, and I remember him with Floyd when he fought Ricky Hatton. And of course, I'm not comparing the fighters, but I'm talking about the style of fight. And I remember Roger Mayweather telling Floyd, he said, he doing all this rushing. He said, but he ain't doing shit. He ain't landing nothing. And he's like, the motherfucker can't fight on the inside. He's like, doing all this bum rushing and can't fucking fight on the inside. Hold your feet and fuck him up. Hold your feet, fuck him up. And as time went on, Floyd, within like the next like 2 rounds, he just started boom, boom, boom. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and he started chopping that tree down. But the first thing he did, that stab jab to the body, and he was holding his feet. And before you knew it, 2-3 rounds later, Hatton's just running into shit. He just running into shit. But I'm like, Floyd was able to do that because mentally sharp. He never got flustered. You never seen Floyd act like that. You understand what I'm saying? The top fighters, the top technicians, you never see them like that. You know what I'm saying? If you do see them like that, you don't see them like that for long. You know what I'm saying? They get themselves together. That's what it reminded me of. And I'm like, Montana. Let me ask you this real quick, bro. Do you think Montana Love is too small for 40?
No, I think his fighting style might not be equipped for what's up the ladder, so to speak. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because he don't have the height to go with that true boxing style that he has. But as you seen in the clip, he looked like he want to be a dog in the ring. Okay, if you want to be a dog in the ring, a dog meets a dog like that at the fence, and we get it in. You know what I'm saying? So if they open the gate, we getting it in. So I didn't see that dog that he showed us or we saw in that prior sparring video. See, again, that's controlled opposition. This opposition wasn't controlled, and it just didn't play into what he foreseen in his mind. But that's the thing about boxing, bro. If you working on things in camp per se, you got a plan A and you got a plan B. At minimum. Most good trainers plan, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much to let it all hang out most of the time, but rarely trainers tell you to, balls to the wall like that, unless obviously you down on the cards. But sometimes that might be necessary to meet a force like what a Spark tried to put out. He's per se not the force, but this fighting style was that force. You might have to meet that force, balls to the wall, like we was just speaking of. He didn't have a plan A, B, or C. He had a promotional plan. That was it. Get the fannies to the seats and everything on B, you know what I mean? Dude know what it is. No, dude know this is opportunity. What is you talking about, bro? Dude don't care about this being your homecoming. He don't give a fuck about your bitch.
Right. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. We got Martha Rodriguez in the building. What's going on, baby? Bruce Gas in the building, man. Salute my brothers, G5 Jet TV and First Vlog. Big shout out to you, big bro. Go subscribe to Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more, man. One of the hottest YouTube channels out there. Point blank, period. Michael John said, Bruce, what up? Hey, Bruce, do you think that Montana Love was trying to exit stage left out of the fight with that? Or do you think he was just looking for like try to get like some time, like buy some time? What you think, bro? My guy, man, Big Tree, man. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Tree, man. King of Iowa in the building, man. Big shout out to Tree, Tristan Tree James. Big shout out to you, bro. Uh yeah, I was looking at that fight, bro, and I was just like, I'm like, I think Montana Love is a solid 140. I don't think he's a big 140, but I think he's big enough to hold his own at 140. But you hit the nail on the head, man. Like, dude he looked like he didn't come in there with an actual game plan for the opponent. He looked like he came in and was like, I'm gonna do me and win this fight. And I feel like when you get to a certain level, when you're getting into close to championship contention, where you're hovering in that top 15, top 10 area, you can't go into a fight with just that.
I got the fight for him, though.
You got, go ahead.
JoJo Ortiz, that's the fight. That's the fight that the Zan need to make right now.
Can I ask you a question, bro?
Talk to me.
Should he revisit this Spark fight, or should he move on?
Spark, no, he could revisit it for himself, but just for I'm looking at it from the Spark side. That'd be stupid. Take this momentum and run with it. Try to be a more let's say a more paid B side. Just get more bang for your buck being the B side based off the outcome of this fight. You see what I'm saying?
Hold on, bro. Mike said, he said Montana was trying to get out of there and smoke with Bruce. Yo, that's a clip. That's a clip.
Yeah, Mike's stupid for that one. Mike, stupid for that one.
Shout out for that, bro. Yo, that's a clip.
He watched Roast Me. He watched Roast Me.
Oh, man. Bruce said, I think he couldn't handle not being in charge and lost it for a minute. Agreed, bro. Agreed. Vlog hit the nail on the head, man. Like, dude just didn't cooperate. I think he had like a movie script in his head, and it just went against the movie script. You know what I'm saying? My boxing son, Chris G, in the building, man. Big shout out to Chris G. What's up with you, bro? What's up with you? Mike said, I don't think he was trying to get out of there. I think he was trying to win something. I think, bro, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Bruce laughing. Mike, I'm gonna keep it solid with you, bro. If he wasn't trying to get up out of there, like looking for an exit stage left, I think at the very least he was like, he lost it. He lost it. And
that's
just
easy to see.
Yeah, like he just lost. Right. He said, Michael Johnson said he hit that ball once with Bruce. He gonna be like, F it, yeah. So what, I lost past the bong. Bruce be puffing that stuff, man. Bruce set looked like a chemistry lab, man. Like he got the bong and all that, man. It looked like remember the movie How High with Method Man and Red Man? That's how Bruce set looked. He got the bong, all that.
Gang.
He be killing it, boy. Love Bruce, man, for real. But you know what though? That's what happens in a fight, man. You have a guy, and big shout out to Stevie Spark too. And I'm gonna tell you why. When you going up against a Montana Love that's clearly more talented, clearly the better fighter, the better skilled fighter, you in his hometown, you have to do something. When you fight guys like that, and you a guy like a Stevie Spark, your main objective is to get them out of character. Get them out of character. They coming into the movie trying to be Batman. You got to get them out of character. And mission accomplished. And here's the thing. Montana Love still let him off the hook. He still let him off the hook. But despite all the stuff Stevie Spark was doing, Montana Love still had an opportunity to compose himself and start putting things together and actually win that fight.
That's what's funny about this dude putting up the judge's scorecard, bro. At this point, that shit is irrelevant, bro, to anybody but people that care about your personal feelings.
You in a
Because
fight.
all I care about is the results. Motherfucker, you cost me a bag, homie. With that immaturity, bro. And in the oxymoron of it, you was fucking winning the fight, nigga. What the fuck, bro? So you showing me that makes me even madder at your immaturity. Not even the results. If you lost the honest, fair, and square fight, bro, ain't nothing I could do but throw my hands up and salute the boy, Spark. But you lost the fight because you, again, it's like, I don't know, bro. I can't relate it no other way than the dude didn't do what you told him to do, so now you mad. Come on, bro. You got to make him do what you want him to do. You got to take the lead.
Agree, bro.
Just saying, bro. It's not rocket science, bro. It's not rocket science. It's boxing. It's a lot of technicalities. You got to use your mind. This is a point where you using that mind to analyze the situation. Okay, this dude ain't doing what I need him to do. I got to do something different to make that happen. He didn't do anything different. Boxing wise.
I agree.
But he, you know what I'm saying? Boxing wise, he did nothing different, bro.
Yeah. Do you think Montana reacts different not in his hometown?
No, I don't think it had nothing to do with that. I think that it excited him more to lose control because, you know, a sense of shame. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm mentally thinking about what they thinking about instead of they not in here getting punched in the face. So I need to put that out in my mind. We could deal with that later. Right now, I can't be thinking about what my mom and my girlfriend and my little cousin and I'm thinking right now.
Everybody can't perform at home. Everybody can't perform at the crib.
We've seen that in boxing. That is definitely
that's a crapshoot. That's a crapshoot.
Yeah, that is definitely a 50-50 roll of the dice. Especially if you a favorite. I'm gonna say it's 50-50 if you a favorite performing at home.
That's
it's a 50-50 situation. Just based on that.
Bruce said Montana looked like a lightweight fighting a junior middle. Spark did look big. He looked big.
I don't know what I thought. No, that's Crawley. I keep getting him mixed up with
that with Crawley. Yeah. Spark did look big, but that's why Bruce. That's why I asked Vlog the question. I said, does he think he's a natural 140? But the reason why I asked that was because Spark looks so much bigger than him.
But that's just because some dudes, they body mass different. Like he has more height, so he's able to fill up a little bit more. What's the name? Looks sharp body wise. He has solid 140, bro. You don't want to run into him in the alleyway. You know what I mean? That's problems. You know what I mean? You don't let that little frame. That's muscle right there. So his height is a deterrent for his fighting style. He has that fighting style. You want to be on the feet. You want to kind of fight long, be pretty behind the jab sort of thing. He don't have that, so he kind of got to box inside and try to be pretty the way he wants to be, and that don't work against all these fighters, especially as he's climbing up the ladder.
Yeah, I think Montana is a 140.
Yeah, I like him at 140. It's just the matchup got to be right.
Yeah, I like him at 140. Like I said, he's not a big 140, but he is a 140. Like he would be completely dried out at 135. Like he can't do 135. So he kind of reminds me of
small for 135 now.
Well, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. Like it depends. I don't think he really fills out that much.
His height is a detriment.
You know what I'm saying? I would say probably with Montana, like Montana's probably gaining maybe 10 pounds after the weigh-in. I don't think he's gaining no more than that. But he reminds me, his body type reminds me of Zab. Judah. Like he was a natural. To me, I always thought he should have fought at 140, but I understood why he fought at 47. But Zab, for the bag. But Zab, he gained probably no more than 10 pounds, like from the weigh in to fight night. And I think Montana Love is the same way. But when you have that, you're gonna come in at a weight disadvantage. So it makes it that much more important for you when you run into a guy like a Stevie Spark. You know what I'm saying? You run into a guy like a Stevie Spark, like you gotta know how to hold your feet. You gotta know how to pivot, and you gotta keep your head. Because if Stevie Spark was able to do that, bro, imagine what Jose Ramirez would have did. Jose Ramirez would have went straight bully mode.
I just based on style, and if his style is just if he's robotic, just go in there, fight your style, take this mental shit out. I give him mad chance against a Ramirez because I think
after what I seen Saturday,
mentally, you got to take the mental.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You would usually favor the Montana Love style over the Jose Ramirez style, but in this situation, bro, the thing that Montana Love has to realize, and I'm gonna say this before we move on. Montana Love has to realize that every fighter he jumps into the ring in with from here on out is gonna try to use that exact same strategy. So you better get your mind right now, because if you go in there against a Richardson Hitchens, and I knew all about their beef way before what people seen in the promotion, like they've been having beef for years. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I wouldn't have a problem with Montana Love going into a Richardson Hitchens fight. I think Montana Love need to lead the Stevie Spark dude along. And I think, like you said, Vlog, I think Stevie Spark needs to take this momentum and he need to parlay it into something. Because he's not going to have it the same. He's not going to have it the same way in the second fight.
I'm no business guy. I don't make matches, but this shit always seems natural. Life always gives you a stage to perform on. The perfect fight card: Stevie Hitchens against Richardson. My bad.
Hitchens versus Spark.
Yeah, and Hitchens versus Spark. And then your boy, the two dudes coming off of losses in the main event at 140, both trying to stay claim, be relevant at 140. That'd be a great fucking card. That'd be a
What about Love? Card. What about Love? What about, since we was talking about the size thing, what about Love and Tagu at 40?
I don't know what Tagu doing, man. I've been trying to reach out to that boy, man. He about to about to put that boy on timeout.
He is on timeout, man.
Yeah, at 140 though, him and Love, I think Love would get him because
he need a bounce back. But he need a bounce back though.
Yeah. I actually, in a way, now I think what's the name movement a little bit too much for Love. That might be something frustrating. He might be like, "Oh, this dude won't sit still." Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
No, I feel you.
You know what I mean? The frustration with this dude, anything can frustrate this dude.
The reason I mentioned like a Tagu is because you know Tagu can't do that Stevie Spark shit. You know that.
Yeah, but that's where I said the flip side. Tagu, we know, can move. He can box. You know what I mean? So that's something that can get the Love. Because but the thing is, he'd rather deal with that.
Yeah, but he'd rather deal with that than to deal with what he just, you know what I'm saying? Like what he just dealt with.
No, I'm saying I get you, but either one for him, and we know what his issue is mental. Either one could send him over the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think Stevie Spark need to definitely parlay this. And the thing is, Eddie gonna take care of him. Eddie gonna get him an opportunity. Eddie gonna get him a look.
The Hitchens one is the way to go.
I think Richardson Hitchens. Bro, we thinking the same, bro. If I'm Richardson Hitchens,
I'm all over it. I'm
all over this Stevie Spark fight because I'm like, I'm gonna school this dude and I'm gonna throw it in Montana Love face. And when you got two guys beefing the way they be beefing, their name is always gonna be at the bare minimum lukewarm in these streets because they always gonna be talking shit. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Richardson Hitchens, that's exactly what I'm doing.
That's who he is. That's probably who he was putting all that shit out there on the gram for.
For sure. Yeah.
Look, man, I was winning anyway. See, they say I was winning.
Bro, if Eddie Hearn is smart, he would set that fight up. Richardson
Man, that'd be a
Hitchens and
nice little
Stevie Sparks.
main event,
That's
bro.
a
That'd be a
nice,
cold.
yeah. And then for Montana Love, me personally, if they want to go, it depends on how they feeling about Montana Love. They still high on him, but just feel like he just had a moment. Then I would definitely look at the JoJo fight. I would definitely look at the
I would
JoJo.
look at it as though I'm feeding JoJo a victory because this dude don't got it.
Because JoJo gonna come in there, he gonna look at the Stevie Spark footage. He gonna be like,
he could
bro,
be
I can
food
do
for the
this.
next two fighters, bro. He could have turned himself into food,
bro.
Instead of being the hunter, he could be the prey.
JoJo gonna look at that. He gonna be like, man, I can do that, and I got more skill than Spark. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going on the safe side with Montana,
you can't be
140,
safe.
At 140, to be honest with you, I would go with I would try to find like a Tagu. I would try to find
bro. I'm gonna tell you why you can't be safe. You know why you can't be safe? Because it's a waste of investment. You've given this dude the safe fights. You thought this was a safe fight. Now I need to go prove it fight. Right. I need value. I need bang for my buck, bro. I've given you the safe fights. Look what you did.
What you thinking outside of JoJo though? You got anybody else outside of JoJo?
At 140 for Dezan. So you got to only go for you got to go based on. So that's the only thing I'm just going on. Maybe somebody in the De La Hoya camp could be sent over, and that Golden Boy camp probably could get a call over. But just for relevancy, you know what I'm saying? Because both guys are trying to prove at 140. So you're still in that situation where it has to be a productive fight for each fighter. That's a great for each dude to bounce back, for one to bounce back off. Well, for each to bounce back off of. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Be a great fight. And then again, you got a situation where you might have Zapata have to have another name before he gets a title shot. So, you know what I mean? This is within the next year. I don't see him getting at any of the champs this year. Zapata, either Zapata, if he wins against Prograis, or the boy that just pulled the upset and got the what's his name again, man? He beat a lot Alamo. He beat a couple people. He got one of the belts that the white boy dropped and shit, man. I forget his name too, because he was out there fighting like a scab. He was fighting like a unqualified skilled worker. Like he
said unqualified.
Bro, that was terrible, bro. Man, this undisputed, bro. You out there looking like that? That was terrible, bro. But anyway,
bro,
that being said, though, man, 140 is wide open, but it's top heavy.
Comey fight, Montana Love Comey.
I don't see the crossover, so I'm trying to stay in house. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give him validity in house.
He could get that fight. He can get that fight. Top rank. Yeah, Bob is sending Bob.
Bob is sending him over. I think Bob sending him over. Well, at this point in his career, maybe.
No, at this point, who else is there for him to fight on the top rank side? He done fought everybody.
That's true. I mean, unless they wanted to do the all African John. But they talking about Nicotaya and somebody. Damn.
I got one for you. I got one for you. Sandor Martin.
Yeah, I like that.
We ain't seen him in it.
But that's what another thing. He had already flirted with 147. So it's the weight situation for him. Another he up there. He in the mid 30s, I believe. So you gotta deal with weight. Him being a little older dude, because he got 30 fights under his belt, I believe, if I'm correct in my memory. Because I picked that upset too. So we can go back and check the records on that one. I did pick that upset. That being said, though, that is a good fight if he's able to make weight. Again, I like the JoJo situation because it's a zone where you're not putting them in, I think, a KO sort of power thing, and you also not putting JoJo in that danger of a kind of KO loss, unable to bounce back from. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a good, solid 12 round sort of elimination title fight type of thing.
Lewis Ritson a good fight too. Lewis Ritson will be a good fight for Lewis Ritson. That'll be a good fight for Montana Love as well. You definitely seen him before. You definitely seen him before. Yeah, Montana Love, he got some options, but yeah, if
Well,
I'm Richardson
man,
Hitchens, that's the call I'm making, man. I'm hitting Stevie Spark
yeah,
up.
I want Spark. Yeah, I
Yeah,
want Spark. That's
give
all
me
off
that
top. I
spark,
need
give me
that.
that spark. Yeah, give me that Stevie Spark work. And then I would, if I'm Hitchens, I'm talking shit to Montana Love every day of the camp until that
How
fight
you know
happens.
I even big talk I talk big shit. I'd be
I,
like, yo, and I made it a
yeah,
50-50 payday. I
bro,
talk big shit. I'd be like, yo,
I
I made
would,
it a 50-50 payday. That's
I would
how
talk,
bad I do it.
I
The
talk
really,
big
because you
shit.
know a dude like Montana Love real conceited. I'm sure he do a little bit of money flossing from time to time. So you do something like that on some real humble. I just wanted the opportunity to show you what to do with this dude, and it was fair play across the board money wise. You just big upping on a dude like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You leveling up on a dude like that.
Yeah, so that was an interesting fight, man. I want to touch on this really quick. I don't want to touch on this for long, but like Floyd had an exhibition session basically against a YouTuber. He got a 6-round knockout, but I want to talk about something other than that. The YouTuber definitely gave him a black eye. He definitely
Dude,
gave him a
180
shiner under,
pounds.
huh?
Dude, 180 pounds. You
Yeah,
hope he
still,
got something behind that shit.
yeah. I mean, but me
Floyd
personally,
50, bro.
understood, but
Come
me
on, man.
personally,
Like,
but you gotta. My point is this: when people were concerned when he fought the Japanese dude, um, and I was like, I was like, people kind of like laughing at it, but I was like, he getting hit a little too much for my liking, um, and even in this fight. It's kind of like, yeah, he's getting to the bag, he's getting the job done, and it's like, I guess for me, I'm just like, I just don't like to see my legends doing this type stuff. I like the last thought of them. I just want to think of them at the tippy top. You know what I'm saying? But I get it though. I get it. You know what I mean? He getting to the
I ain't gonna
bag.
lie,
Okay,
bro.
cool.
It's these fights make me think you still paying off old bills, nigga. Like, you understand what I'm
Bro,
talking about? Like,
hey,
I
can
tend
I?
to lean that way. Like, this nigga got a tab from like 10 years ago. He ain't cleared up because the fights he did in the past 10 years was paying for the previous 10-year fights or whatever type of
I
thing or whatever,
Yeah,
bro. I don't know, bro.
now I don't do no like money.
I ain't pocket
I
watching or nothing.
I was gonna say I don't watch the next man pockets. It's really just simple logic. If I'm
Yeah,
making
that's what I'm saying. Logically, I'm looking at
his
it logically.
his overhead is insane. Like
Oh, I'm sure it
he
is.
literally he walks around with a SWAT team every day of the week, like, and a squad full of ladies every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, that
Well,
stuff costs at the end
I
of the day.
hope he hired a new guard after that boy got knocked out like that. So I'm just saying, bro.
Bro, it's crazy, man. Like, it's absolutely
I
crazy.
I don't need no blemishes on my security guard team, bro. You got
That's a
blemishes, that
fact.
mean you subject.
You definitely subject. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Like, that's a fact, man. But I mean, he's still taking these fights because his overhead is so crazy. Not saying that he don't have money, things like that. Of course he has money. But when you're taking on these fights and it's like, yeah, it's easy, 9 mil here, 11 mil there. Like, okay, cool. Nobody's gonna turn
Well,
that down. But
can
I'm
I
like,
ask you
it's
this? Can I
mhm,
add this? Could he
mhm.
still be addicted?
I think
He
he
could be
still loves the
addicted
sport.
not to
I think.
boxing, not to boxing, but to the lights, to the
Oh, for
shine,
sure.
to
Yeah, he's definitely that for sure. Like, to be honest with you, bro, I could see him being 60 years old and still doing the exact same thing. Is just he's just going to have to downgrade to, like, you know, uh third shift stock guys and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
but that's
mean,
just, yeah, he's gonna be doing this for a while. But the most important thing that I think nobody is talking about is where he's actually fighting, the platform. I need for people to understand that Floyd is fighting on the zone. And anybody that knows the history of Floyd and all of that, they always talk down on DAZN and things like that. And I might be reaching here. I might be reaching, but I always had that question of whether there was a no compete clause with Golden Boy and Eddie Hearn working with DAZN. With Floyd Mayweather having the fight on DAZN, that tells me more than likely there's not a no compete clause. So you remember the talk that we had before about Mr. Heyman not having any networks, possibly not having any networks at the start of next year, like officially on contract in terms of a long-term deal. Now, with Floyd actually fighting on DAZN officially, and he's getting, no matter who it's against, he's getting consistent fights. Is there a possibility that there's not a no compete clause, and at the end of the day, Uncle Al might give DAZN a call, try to work something out? Maybe not for all his fighters, but to try to get like a contract similar to what Golden Boy got and things like that. What you think about that, bro?
I mean,
am I reaching? Am I
me,
thinking too much on that? Am I thinking too much?
I think you are, because then that to a sense give DAZN a sense of monopoly in boxing, and I don't think you want to add to that. You don't want to just be one that they don't have to answer your call. You know what I mean? If you're not doing business with them, then they ain't gonna never answer your call, so you ain't got to worry about that. So that's something, you know what I mean? And again, this is maybe that again is what this Black Prime situation is about. Like, okay, here's quote unquote a sister platform or a neighborly platform that, such as DAZN, that we can really springboard and get these guys to work that we haven't been able to give them on our quote unquote network deals that we have.
Yeah, the only reason I was even thinking that is because if they had the no compete clause, Floyd Deji fight,
I think
Saturday,
Floyd,
they wouldn't be able to do it.
I think that's more about where it happened at too, bro. They over there in Abu Dhabi and all of that. And that's just, you know what I mean? Maybe they're only dealing with international sort of outlets.
I'm kind of curious. I'm not gonna lie, I might be thinking too much, but I'm kind of curious.
I wouldn't. If I was Al, bro, Al has enough roster, and then he has enough pull. Instead of sending his B guys over, he has enough pull and a big enough roster that he can get all the other B guys to come to him.
But where though? But where?
This is what I mean. We trying to see, I guess, or we see what this Black Prime thing pans out to be.
From what I was told, so you know, of course, the main topic is like, is Bud gonna get his 10 million? From what I was told, they got 5 million in escrow for him. So it's actually 5 guaranteed, and I think it's like some numbers got to add up for him to get to the 10. That's what I was told. I don't know if it's 100% facts, but I was told by like 3 different people.
That makes a bit more sense.
It does make a bit more sense.
A bit more sense. You ain't jumping out the window. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just know with Black Prime, we haven't been told what their long-term commitment is to the sport. Kind of like with DAZN, you knew they was 10 toes down when they stepped in the door. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just curious because I'm like, Showtime's deal ends 2023 in a couple months. So their deal ends. The Fox deal, I think, is already done, and he's pretty much burned every other bridge. So that was the only reason I was even thinking, like, hey, like, where can he go?
That's what this Black Prime is to me. Like, this might be all PBC all the time.
So what you think? So you think, but what if Black Prime says we want to kind of get in it here and there, but not really heavy, kind of like a Fight TV situation? Remember they had joints on Fight TV, but it wasn't really heavy.
Not when, in my estimation, Black Prime needs a stable. They can't, you know, they're not, nobody's Floyd. They don't have quote unquote the Canelo of this era in Bud Crawford. So they need a stable. They need a few good names. So I think they need that uncontrolled, so to speak. Like, okay, so that's like Back Prime giving a call to a couple of Eddie Hearn's fighters. They got to go through Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn got to talk to Zazan and blah, blah, blah. You don't want to do all that. You do that, quote unquote, lost his platform, his visual platform. Here you are with a new source for him. Open up floodgates to all the market and somehow put together great fights that be something weekly. Because DeZan, they weekly, baby. You know what I'm saying? I ain't rarely seen DeZan off more than 2 weeks at a time without a decent fight card, at least a bunch of youngsters and things like that. You know what I mean? Man, even Top Rank, they give it to us like that. What's going on, Shane?
Got my little bro up in here, man. Shane in the building, man. What's up? Hey, bro. I wanted to we gonna double back. The Montana Love fight, man. Did you watch it? And you didn't watch it. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? Do you think you think Montana Love was trying to bail out? Did he was trying to bail out the fight? You don't think so?
I just think it happens in boxing. I think it's just one of those things. I think it's disappointing though.
Yeah, I was disappointed more than anything else. I was disappointed
because of where he was supposed to be.
Agreed.
When you look at 140, it's a dangerous division. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess we've just found another player that we didn't think was going to be a player, but is now a player. But with Montana Love, I just feel like, when you compare him to the other dudes at that weight class, you'd have just naturally assumed that he was ready.
Yeah, he looked like he wasn't prepared for the opponent. Like I didn't watch the fight live. I doubled back and watched it. He looked like nah, I ain't touch it. Vlog did. He voiced his displeasures earlier, but yeah, I thought.
Why did he voice on his? Why did he voice? Who did he bet on? Who did he bet on?
Bro, I took Montana Love, bro. 3 weeks in a row, I'm losing one fight. I don't like to throw my people under the bus, but it's been 3 straight brothers costing me my money with 3 straight fight card weeks, bro. I'm telling you, I'm oh my God.
Bro, that's a tough way. If you bet Love, that's a tough way to lose, man.
You think so? Why?
Hell yeah, bro.
You didn't see
I'm talking about you lost bro. If you bet Montana Love and you lose a bet or a parlay
on a disqualification.
Yeah, on a disqualification, that's a hurt piece, bro. I can see if he lost on the cards, I can accept that. But when you go in WWE style,
bro, he pulled the rope down. That's why I was like, you didn't think that was shifty? That was a cop out? Because he pulled the rope down, bro. If he didn't pull the rope down, I could be on your side of the fence all day. When you pull the rope down as a second move, it wasn't like that was your first move, like you were just pulling on the rope, trying to press him up against the rope. You already had him pressed against the rope with your off hand. You grabbed the loose hand and pulled the rope down and pushed him over with the shoulder. That's all intent, bro. That's dirty pool.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Did you think Montana Love, forget us, did you think Montana Love at that stage thought he had no chance of winning?
No, I think he was so frustrated with his dance partner for stepping on his toes that he just hoped the DJ cut the record and get him off the floor. So he you know what I'm saying, he threw his own dance partner off the floor.
I like that. I like that analogy, but I mean, maybe because if he does have that mentality, then that's a mental weakness.
As long as the video, bro.
I'm about to show it again, video. Bro. I don't know if you've seen this yet.
We've seen it. I don't know.
I don't know. Shane
but that's the fight.
No,
it was a sparring session.
He had a sparring session with somebody, and he kind of did something similar. But I'm gonna show it again just in case you
definitely didn't see that.
Definitely didn't see it. Okay.
It wasn't in this camp, I don't believe. No,
Can
it
you?
wasn't in this camp.
All right, you can see that, Shane. I'm gonna let it. All right, I'm gonna let it flow.
I don't want the body. I stopped him last week with body. Fuck the body. I want his chin. I want his mouth.
You fighting the same sparring partner? He talking about you stopped last week with the body.
Shut up, bitch. I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, he got disrespect. Stupid ass.
A lot of talking.
Hold up. Hold it. Break. Hey, time. Watch out.
Yo, he was hot, bro. He was hot, bro.
Wow.
He was hot. So Shane, that was
concerning. That's concerning. That's concerning.
First of all, he's fighting the same sparring partner. Now, listen, hold on. Now you get that from time to time, but I'm like, you're not improving if you getting him up out of there every single time.
Yeah, you just said you dropped him last week. What
I will say with this is, with all of this circulating, he is so mentally weak. Could you imagine if he had someone like a Tyson Fury in his weight class with that mental strength that's able to manipulate him mentally? Get into his head in the ring. It would just get him off his game plan.
Shane,
if he had someone gone.
I literally said the blunt. I said, yo, if Stevie Spark can pull that off, I said, imagine a Jose Ramirez. He's dog walking. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I just mean in terms, even before the fight, like he could just get into his heads, because you can just tell this guy is just so emotional. Like he doesn't, he just seems very mentally weak. In boxing, you have to have layers and barriers to yourself, almost like a chess player, or a poker player. You can't just show your cards straight away. Let's say, for example, he's fighting someone like a I'm even trying to think of a name.
At 140.
Yeah, 140. I'm just trying to think of someone who I know has a personality that can potentially get under his skin. Let's say, for example, let's say Kambosos moved up to 140. Yeah. And I know Kambosos isn't the greatest of fighters.
But it's just the talk.
It's just, for me, Devin Haney just showed so much mental strength by being able to just be so still, keeping that poker face, almost robot-like, machine-like, no emotion. It's just straight business. Right. And that's how every fighter should look at things. Straight business. It's business. With this dude, you can clearly tell that there's raw emotion. That's what I kind of like about Boots. He always boxes with a smile. You can tell he's almost enjoying this. With this dude, you can almost see, it's like, I don't know if he's got a chip on his shoulder. I don't know what it is, but mentally it's a weakness. You can take advantage of that.
You know what it's called, Shane? It's called little man syndrome.
Facts.
That's what that reminds me of. Little man syndrome. They usually the loud ones, very boisterous, always trying to prove themselves to a certain extent. That's not every little dude on the planet, but it's in the environments that we come from. You tend to see that. I know I did.
But if you're 5'5" and below, bro, I know a lot of dudes suffering from that little man syndrome. No cap.
No, that's a fact, man. And once you show that you're at the very least an emotional roller coaster, when you get into them bigger fights, like your opponent is going to play on that. They're going to try to bring that out of you. Mm-hmm.
Can I say this in his defense? I do believe he does have the ability to become mature, because with age and with experience, you get that. You know what I mean? With him being able to maybe see a podcast like this and be like, wow, they really breaking it down, and maybe that's something I probably need to work on. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody that knows him sees this and they like, yo, there's some real G's really dropping some science about this path that you on, bro. You know what I mean? It can affect you down the road. That's not to say you can't get a big fight. We talking about whether you can perform mentally to win those fights. So, you know what I mean? Hopefully this is a helping situation. This ain't just condemning the brother.
Fact, even someone like Rolly, you know, someone like Rolly Ramirez.
Rolly would give him problems, bro.
Especially before the fight, bro.
Before the fight, pre-fight. Because I think, bro, that's a great example, bro. And I know Rolly's on the other side of the street, but that's a great example because for Tank to do what he did to him, Tank had to show he had it up here. He checked his ego at the door. He did what he had to do to win that fight, and he left his emotions at the front door.
Rolly's the difference. Rolly's the dude you look at and you think, I can't wait to knock this dude out. And when you're in the ring, he's so bad to watch. You're just questioning how you haven't knocked this dude out already. And every round goes by, you just create more and more frustration. And because he's so awkward, and he doesn't have tank type power, one kind of love. So because he's so awkward, every time you hear Rolly talk, you know, he's just gonna taunt him. Every round goes by. You know, mentally, he's just gonna, you know, go away from the game plan. And he's just gonna make it so much harder for himself. Fights like that, obviously he lost on disqualification, and I know why you said, is it a cop-out? I know why you said that. But what I personally believe that knowing the culture where he comes from, knowing the culture of people in America in general, they never think they can't win. You guys always think you can win. And no matter what, as long as you guys got breath, you guys will always believe that you can win. You know, especially
now,
the black
hold up. But that's the thing with this dude. It was how. This is Mr. Pretty himself. You know what I'm saying? This Purdy. This ain't even pretty. This Purdy. You know what I mean? So if he ain't looking good, that's like that goes against the grain. So he wasn't looking good. Look, he put up the scorecard on Instagram. I'm winning. Look, it's blah blah blah. I won. Look at the judges. Okay, bro. Obviously, you didn't feel that way based on how you threw the dude out the ring. So you know what I'm saying? It wasn't Purdy.
A vlog. Montana Love looked like he put wave grease in his hair in between rounds and shit, man.
No, hey, let me tell you, hold up. This is the type dude, he'll have a dude come in and buff his shoes in between rounds. He'll have his shoe up on the ring getting this shit buffed.
What? Spit shining.
Yeah. I'm going like this. Go ahead, champ.
Yo, that is hilarious, bro.
Hey, my man, can we gonna slide on real quick, bro? You brought up my man. You brought him up. Boots. We had another guy that they were saying was Boots-esque. He had a fight against one of the dudes from your backyard. I guess we didn't see this boogeyman at the whole pre-show from Top Rank. We talking about Jana Beck.
Oh, Denzel Bentley. Yeah, Denzel Bentley.
Man.
And Bentley.
No,
Mike,
bro, Denzel Bentley's my dude, bro. Denzel Bentley's my dude. I've interviewed him a few times. And,
okay, check this. Check this, bro.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if y'all watch this pre-fight show, bro, these motherfuckers went in a whole hour about how this dude is the real boogeyman of boxing, how none of the other middleweight champs wanted to see him, and it wasn't because of he's not the bag. It's because of what he does in the ring. And I'm like, well, I disagree with that, but obviously I can't tell them that because I'm just listening to these motherfuckers. So That being said, though, the proof is in the pudding that I don't think it was about his boxing, because Denzel Bentley cool and everything, but he lost to a dude, to me, that's not even on Jana Beck's level. And he got knocked out by that dude. And we talking about that cat Cash. So that being said, I didn't think Jana Beck should have allowed what happened to happen. But maybe again, he wasn't the boogeyman that they hyped this dude up again. And then these dudes don't never walk back with they don't never, bro. Y'all went a whole hour boot licking on this dude, ass licking, sucking butt cheeks. Now all of a sudden he ain't out here looking like the invincible force. Y'all ain't like, yo, we might have talked a little bit too early. We might see a little bit more. There's only 12, 13 fights now. So they could be saying a lot of things, but they're not walking nothing back, bro. And they all terrible. And side note, real quick, and I'm gonna let you rock. Tim Bradley a bitch for letting that motherfucker Mark Zuckerberg or whatever his fucking name is talk shit to him on that fucking show that night, bro. I'm telling you, they'd have pulled the plug on the cameras because I'd have hauled off and hopped that motherfucker in his mouth. I'm not playing. He was talking to dude real reckless, bro. That's side note.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
About his, Mark Kragel or whatever.
Man, he got hit in his motherfucking mouth.
Shane, that's the same dude that told Broner that his 4 world championships don't mean nothing. And Broner got on his ass about that in the interview, like on camera. You know what I'm saying? So
what did Bradley say? What did he say to Bradley?
He was telling bro, like, disagree with the blame for why dude ain't a household name. He was saying it's the promotion fault. Old dude saying it's because people don't want to fight him. Motherfucker, if you fight like that, bro, everybody gonna want to fight you.
Firstly, I actually want to congratulate Denzel Bentley, because the reason I want to congratulate Denzel Bentley is because, for one, even though he lost, no, not even just that. Denzel Bentley, I've seen Denzel Bentley several times. Several times I've seen Denzel Bentley. For one, no disrespect to the dude, he is not a 160, bro. I am not a big dude. If I was to fight, I'll probably be fighting at 135. I'm taller than most 135s, but I'll probably be fighting at 135. This guy probably should be fighting at 154. He's fighting at 160. I've seen Denzel Bentley. He's tall, but he is not big. Like, he is not a big dude. I've seen many fighters who are at 160 and 168, 154. He is not a big 160. Another thing I will say is, for the most part, Denzel Bentley is one of the few fighters who actually will fight anyone, bro. And I know you spoke about the Felix Cash fight. I won't get into the technicals of that, because right now there's a bit of allegations around Felix Cash and around that camp regarding drug testing and etc. So I'm not going into that. Obviously, he's in the same camp as Conor Benn, and there's been a lot of allegations going around that. But yeah, he did lose to Conor Benn. But after that fight, I mean, not lose Conor Benn, he lost to Felix Cash. But after that fight, Denzel Bentley has fought some really good fighters, undefeated fight after undefeated fight after undefeated fight, and he really challenges himself. And he went in there and he challenged himself against Janibek, and he lost. Credit to him for even giving it a competitive fight. So credit.
No, I'm sorry, Shane. Go ahead. Go
ahead. Please go ahead.
I've watched a few Bentley fights. He does look small for 160. The main thing I took out of that is really just this whole boogeyman thing. And people, and it's crazy because
I was gonna get to that next.
The majority of the people that get the boogeyman moniker really ain't put in no, like, it's off of potential. It's off of what you think they gonna do. Like, a lot of times it can be an established fighter and they'll never get the boogeyman status. But a dude on the come up, just a young buck, they'll give that to him before they give like an established fighter that really should have it, like that actual title. I watched Janibek. I'm like, Boo Boo stomps Janibek. I'm like, he stomps him.
I was gonna get to the Boo Boo.
Go ahead,
right
bro.
Now.
Go ahead.
This is why I am very, very critical of people who criticize Andrade for not fighting Janibek, because here is a person who has made himself available for fighters who we would all deem to be better than Janibek. We would say Canelo's better than Janibek. We would say Benavidez is better than Janibek. We would say Charlo is better than Janibek. And if Munguia isn't better than Janibek, they're at least on the same level. Billy Joe Saunders, the same thing. He made himself available for Billy Joe Saunders. All of those dudes he's made himself available for. You are not telling me that he didn't want to fight Janibek because he's too dangerous. You're telling me he didn't want to fight Janibek because if you compare all of those names in comparison to Janibek, there's one thing that stands out: money, and that's it. The money don't make sense, bro. This is a person who agreed to fight Zach Parker, and then when the money went down, he pulled out of the fight because the money wasn't the same. Money's gonna come into play. The truth is, bro, this dude, Boo Boo, has fought fighters who people like Liam Williams, for example, and who was the other dude that he fought? Sulecki, but not Sulecki. Who did he fight as well? The other dude he fought, and he stopped. Keeler or whatever that dude's name is. He fought dudes who nobody knew, and he never got no credit for. He never got any credit for that. So even if he beat Janibek, bro, it's not going to get him any closer to fighting Canelo. It's not going to get him any closer to fighting Charlo. It's not going to get him any closer to fighting Benavidez. So why fight him? That is literally it. I want to fight somebody. This is why it's annoying. Because if I fail a negotiation to fight Jeff, and Jeff is supposed to be that dude, you can't then give me Blunt, bro. No offense, not saying Blunt isn't a good fighter. I'm just saying in this example.
Right.
It's like, bro, go ahead.
Can I say this? Those guys then, yes, I could see. Now this dude got a belt. Now this dude promoter talking about we may have to up the bag. So now we can get to talking about these matchups. Before, there was no reason for these guys to fight this dude because this dude hadn't beat nobody. He don't have the knockouts on ESPN that he has now. He didn't have those then. So again, he had no steam behind his name. He has a little bit of steam, and that's cooling off. They turned the burner off because your boy Bentley came in there and showed this dude is not no Wick. You know what I'm saying? He is no John Wick. He is not the boogeyman.
Yeah.
That being said, size-wise, y'all butt up size. Now, if y'all say Denzel Bentley is a smaller middleweight, he looked very comparable across the ring from Janibek. Now, you think about it like Maul Charlo. This is a monster at middleweight. He will kill this dude. And this dude has the same punch combination. No variation in this punch combination. It's the same punch combination throughout the same fight. Once Bentley got that time, that's when he started trying to go to work and answering the shots and fighting back. I think he was a bit too much cautious because of all the hype behind dude's name. Because of them.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And when he put his post up, only thing I said to him on his post, and there's no cap, think faster start. And whoever you fight, come out the gate.
Hey Shane, I don't know if you're able to like message him or whatever. That's a question we would love to get to him.
I'll definitely get a message
because it really vlog. That's a great point because it really seemed like he got halfway through that fight and he was just like, "Yo, this dude is not as nice as everybody." It almost seemed like it just clicked in his head like, yo, he's not as nice as everybody's saying. Let me try to turn up.
It's literally that, bro. I'll give you an example. In certain fights, bro. I'll give you an like when Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson. You get hit with that shot, and even though he got dropped, but you get hit with that shot, and you're still there. Or even a better example. Razor Ruddock, when he fought Mike Tyson, he got hit with that shot. Then all of a sudden, he just had confidence because he was like, well, I'm still here, so I'm going to give it as long as I can.
It's kind of like you can even go Wilder Fury. When Fury got knocked down, even in the 12th in the first fight, he came back and won the rest of the round.
Literally. Sometimes, bro, you get hit with that money shot and your perception of someone is so high that when they fall short, it's almost like you humanize them. And it's like, okay, this guy is the man with 2 arms and 2 legs. I can go and get it. And that's what Denzel Bentley had to go through. I just felt like Blunt said, he gave him way too much respect early and he just gave up ground.
And it's kind of like what we talked about last week, Shane and Vlog with Zerto and Bivol. I think Zerto had Bivol on such a high pedestal, and Shane and I talked about that prior to the fight. Like he had him on such a high pedestal.
Yeah, when he said the dude had no home.
I personally didn't like when Zerto said it, but I didn't think it was going to affect the fight because I still thought Zerto was going to come in and do what Zerto does. And he went in there and didn't do what Zerto usually does.
He fought like a dude who felt like he had no home.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Let me get these comments real quick. Michael Johnson said them cats in Dubai wanted to pay Floyd and they had the rights to put it on wherever 20 mil plus. Who's gonna tell them no? Agreed.
I'm so annoyed because bro, I made some real bold statements before the fight. I didn't say Deji was gonna win or anything. I just said I thought Deji was gonna actually fight well.
He gave him a black eye though. He gave Floyd a black eye. Michael John, I do remember you saying that too. He said Shane looked like he got the Undertaker's old dusty robe on. He said, "What's up, pimp?"
That's disrespectful.
Oh man, T Finney in the building, man.
Hey,
shout out to
I thought he was drinking goat milk earlier.
This nigga said goat milk.
He said goat milk.
Nah, bro.
Man. T Finney said salute. I missed the notification that you guys were live. I didn't agree, but the disqualification. He said with the disqualification, but when I thought back on it, if Spark fell face down or on his back, he could have been hurt. You know what? And it was amazing that he landed on his feet. And thank God he landed on his feet. You know what I mean? But remember when Hussein Rahman got knocked out and he fell through the ropes and fell on the table.
Yeah, I remember. And
to the floor. Yeah, like that joint was crazy. He fell like flat on his back, like he was like not moving, like unconscious. So the fact that Spark landed on his feet, man, that was a blessing for sure.
I've seen niggas get knocked out of the ring and still get back up and fight.
Remember the heavyweight dude that did that? He got knocked out the ring and he walked all the way around to the steps and walked back up.
That happened with Nigel Benn. And
that happened with Nigel Benn. Facts.
Again, if this shit happens through a natural course of the tussle and that sort of thing, you could get these continuances. When you see a motherfucker do this shit on purpose, the ref like, we didn't rehearse this in the back, bro. He got lucky and fell on his feet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, and it cost me a bag, bro. Nice little 9-1 card. Put the 50 on it. Everybody else handled their business. You know what I mean? And look, I called for Janabek not to get that knockout. I didn't think Bentley was going to KO him, even though Bentley do got some handlebars, but I just didn't see him going for the KO like that. So I called for that to go the distance. So I think that was, pop my collar on that one, though, because I actually got my value on my payout.
That is a real good prediction, because most people would have predicted Denzel Bentley to get knocked out after you saw him lose to Cash. But sometimes fighters improve since that. And I actually give Bentley credit because he went back in the fire after his loss. So credit, man. I will give him credit because I felt
what? I'm going to tell you one thing I seen in the difference in these two losses. The one loss, his defense was still straight up. When Cash was rushing him, his head was still straight up. In this fight, he used the lean more. He made Janabek reach more with those money shots. So the extension was taking power off of it. It not being right on the right line, your chin not being on the precise line like it was in the Diggum fight. That uppercut, dude, chin was right there where it was supposed to be. Like when Tank knocked out the skinny boy. So that could happen, but he didn't work with that. He had his face off the side. He was using this length to his advantage by kind of putting a bar between them, like making this dude reach around that guard a little bit, because he wasn't really jabbing. He was kind of putting that stiff arm out there. He was making him throw around it, and that wasn't helping Janabek. And he got tired. So we seen him go the distance, and he ain't look good. He was letting his hands go, but he wasn't accurate, and he didn't have the same steam in that 11th and 12th.
the issue with Janabek, and this is always going to be the issue, if you put someone like Andrade is so much faster than Janabek. Like so much faster than Janabek. It will literally be, it will look like one person in reverse and one person in fast forward. How fast it will be, like literally, it will be so, the speed disparity will be so much. And I remember when Liam Williams fought Andrade, and if you watch the first 2 rounds, Andrade started at 1 million miles an hour, and Williams was just overwhelmed with the speed. He done the same thing to Selecki. Literally started at 1 million miles an hour, rushing the dude at it's like a race car. You start so fast that once you start at that pace, automatically you put your opponent in defense the whole entire time through. So when Andrade decides to box off the back foot and take his foot off the gas, you don't want to turn the pressure back up just in case he doesn't turn the pressure back up, you know? And Janabek will have to face that, because the issue is when someone that fast starts so fast, when he's throwing 6s and 7s, you ain't even going to have enough time to throw 1.
I think Boo Boo would have a field day with him. I thought he was going to win prior to this Bentley fight, but I think Boo Boo would have a field day with him.
Let's talk landscape now. The landscape for this dude, only way it improves, and I'm going to say this bluntly, just because I don't think it's a good business decision, countryman or not, I'm going after them belts. Him not fighting Triple G because they both from Kazakhstan, and that's whatever Kazakhstanians don't fight each other from, I guess, what they country, sort of just what they do. That being said, I don't know if that's true, because in the amateurs, you got to fight somebody. You ain't going to cross the border and fighting somebody from whoever your neighbor is. So I don't know why they would say that, but they said that during the event, that's not on the horizon. His only wish is that Michael Safar wins that fight against Triple G, supposed to be going down early next year in Australia. I don't know if that can happen. I mean, you know, hey, Kiko Martinez pulled it off, so I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, you know what I mean? Kiko pulled it off, bro. You know what I mean?
T50 said I covered the fight live. You guys didn't see it, but it was the most fun live for sure. Man, when you covering the fights, you go live, man. That energy different, bro.
It takes a certain type of patience and focus to do that.
Yeah, you gotta have some mouth, because you gotta have that filler talk too.
Yeah, you gotta feel every aspect,
bro. When you're on live for a good, I remember us 3 done a live when we were on live for like 4.5 hours, bro. I'll never forget that,
bro.
That was a marathon.
Yo, my eyes was burning, like
from the computer screen.
Yeah, my eyes was burning.
Bro, my jaw was hurting, bro.
I was going like this. I was like it was
just
crazy.
talking and talking. After a while, bro, you just think like, damn, this is tiring.
Yeah, Mike said Rolly was admiring his work, thought he was winning and he can do anything, and he lost. Rolly and JoJo are Mr. Snatch a B up. That's funny. Conrad, what's going on, bro? He said, what's going on? Looking good. Appreciate you, good brother. Michael said, you see them memes on Crawford saying that's how you know he not telling the truth. Well, every time Shane leans back, he fronting.
I was gonna say, bro, I want to touch on something that you said in the video earlier, bro. You said in disagreement to Rick Glaser, you brought up Roy Jones and Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
And I just disagree with those examples. Because I feel like, for me, Roy Jones and Lomachenko had put enough work in the amateurs to say they are above certain question marks. You know, when the amount of work that they put in the amateurs, they're above certain question marks. I'm not saying they should be. I'm not saying it should be. I think everybody should answer the same questions. But I feel like when you put in a certain amount of work in the amateurs, when you go to the pros, you should get a certain, you should get a certain amount of credit going into the pros.
I'm glad you said that, bro. I'm glad you said that because when I actually made the statement, I did think about the amateur pedigree. I did think about that. But I can give you a couple of examples of guys that had a great amateur background and we still ask those questions. I'll take it back. Take a David Reed, for example. David Reed was a gold medalist. He got a contract with a guaranteed money number that nobody seen at that particular time. They asked those questions about him. Floyd Mayweather is another one. They still ask them questions about him.
We can go even recent. AJ won gold medal at the Olympics. He turned pro, and we still where everybody's still questioning the heart and the chin and the gas tank, etc. So I do get where you're coming from with your statement, and even to me, I still agree with Rick Glaser to a certain point, but I also don't think anyone's crowning Boots other than Blunt. I don't think anyone's crowning Boots.
Blunt, can I say something real quick? Hold up, before you go, real quick, bro. There's more people outside of Blunt that are crowning it, and that's why I actually brought it up. And the reason I asked the question is this: I don't know if I explained it clear enough. My question was simply, is it okay for you to ask for for Boots to show you these things? That was my real question.
It's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Blunt. Go ahead, bro.
You asked that. Can I ask this in response to you, Rick Glaser, and any other hater out there? Is it okay for Boots to say it's not my fault they haven't been asked inside that ring? Them questions y'all asking, that is not my fault. So don't blame that on me. Don't ask me as if I still got to prove something that 30 people have had the opportunity to prove. It's not my fault. This cakewalk ain't my fault. It's like eating a bag of chips in the park. It's not my fault.
No, that's a fact. And who's to say, Blunt? Who's to say, Blunt, that he fights Bud and he don't knock him out in the first round? And we still ask these questions. You see my point, bro?
But that's why,
bro, this dude can be that successful, bro.
But
that
that's
we
why
never have to ask that question.
But that's why I brought the question, right? But that's why I brought the question up, and I do think it was a valid question because I got a whole lot of steam off of that. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of steam off of that.
We understand.
Can I ask a question, bro? Can I ask a question, bro? You see, if he fights Bud, for example, or Errol Spence, and his chin doesn't get checked, do we still have to question his chin? Because that's my question. Because if let's say neither Errol Spence or Bud lands a clean punch, but we will all agree that those two are the best opponents for Boots in terms of. If you were to compare him to anyone, for him to get tested, we're either going to say Errol Spence or Bud. If he fights both of those dudes and he doesn't get his chin checked, meaning like he doesn't get a punch flush on his chin, do we still have to question his chin? Because we can't say he's got a good chin because he still hasn't got hit with a punch.
Can I answer that, bro?
Go ahead.
That's exactly why I brought up Roy Jones. That is exactly why I brought up Roy Jones. Roy Jones is so dominant, so physically gifted.
He didn't get chin checked against Tarver.
Right, but before that, though, nobody ever questioned whether, like, what was going to happen when this man gets hit with a flush shot because he was so fucking talented. You didn't think he was ever going to get hit with the flush shot. It wasn't until later on in his career, the John Ruiz fight. The John Ruiz fight was actually the first fight where you was like, yo, what's gonna happen if he lands? That was the first fight. And then it was a trickle-down effect after that because even though he was so dominant, you couldn't see him being more dominant than what he was before that Ruiz fight. So that was the start of basically the back half of his prime.
Can I beg to differ slightly with you? We don't have the same arrogance level and fighters. So you're talking about two different mentalities, possibly with the same set of skills. So one, I'm edging when it comes to even putting yourself in that position, because he doesn't concentrate on all outside of the ring things, being the boxing hype machine that he was at the time, Nike deal, wanting to rap, a whole lot going on. Boots is a different machine. He is boxing all the time. He is the Terminator of boxing right now. So when we say, well, what'd have happened if he get hit? The likeliness of him putting himself in that situation to get hit is not there, because Roy fought different. Roy fought more crowd-pleasing-esque. Hands down, cat reactions, and he pushed that to a limit, and it bit him in the ass. We don't see that from Boots all the time. He's been a little bit crowd-pleasing, slick defensively, but not per se like just reckless. Roy has been reckless defensively throughout his career because he relied so heavily on the athleticism. Boots is different than that, because you can look in the situation where he knocked old boy out in the first round. We know, Delahome, what's the boy name?
Delorme.
Yeah, Delahome. We know he elder statesman, get it. But even in that situation, Boots was still like, yo, I got clipped. So when he walked back to the corner, I get my hand up. So we could see the mentality is way different. No disrespect, man.
Did you just call him Delahomie? That's a timestamp. Yo,
I'm just fucking around, man. That's I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's going in the archives, bro. I'm crying over here, bro.
I was gonna say, but yo, bro, I agree with you, bro. I agree, and to me, one thing I definitely do agree with Blunt is Jeff. Sorry, is when I look at Boots, it's just a matter of when. It's not if. I know I will put my last dollar, dime, nickel, cent, whatever you want to do, bro. I will bet that he will become a world champion one day. I will bet that.
I tell people all the time, I was like, I would clear the 401k plan out.
Like, the only way, I mean, like, he's even got the championship mentality, bro. Like, certain dudes, that they just don't live the life outside the boxing. The dude lives the life outside the boxing as well. So
it's crazy. And let me add this, Tomas Delorme hit him with a solid shot before he got knocked out. Lipinets got his shots in. There was another fight that he had where Boots got checked in the chin earlier in his career.
I do think there's question marks about Boots, but like Blunt said, as it stands, we can't criticize him.
You can't criticize him. So...
The only thing I can say though, and this is the disappointing thing, is it doesn't look like Errol Spence is gonna fight him.
I don't think so. And
none of these dudes gonna fight him. And that's cool. That's their fault.
But to be honest with you, if I had to pick a style that would give Boots the most competition, it would be a Spence.
I disagree with that.
Who you say?
I don't know yet. The jury's out on that.
How you gonna disagree with me and you don't know yet?
No. Let me tell you why. I used to say that, but there's one thing that I realized. Everybody that Errol Spence fought, nobody has, in my opinion, been able to physically impose themselves other than Kell Brook. And Kell Brook had success in the first half of that fight until
I had him win in the first half of the fight.
That's my point. And Boots is way more physically imposing and way more athletically gifted than Kell Brook. To me, he fights the same against everyone. So if he's trying to fight that big man style against Boots, this is my issue. I'm not saying that it won't work, but I think Boots is faster hands than Errol. I think Boots has better single punch power than Errol. I also think the biggest problem that Errol has is Boots has better feet than Errol in terms of just foot speed, transitional foot speed, like his foot speed, like he can move, switch orthodox southpaw real quick. I think he can do that much faster than Errol. So when you're imposing yourself, you have to have. If it doesn't work, you have to have. You either have to break your opponent's will, or you have to have a plan B. The problem with Sean Porter was Sean Porter couldn't maintain it over 12, and you two both thought Sean Porter won the fight. That's my point. Like Errol Spence adjustment, Errol Spence adjustment is to just do what he's doing more. He doesn't actually change what he does. He just does it more.
I'm gonna tell you why I said Spence, and I'm not disagreeing with anything that you said. This is the only question I have with Boots. The only question. When he's in there with a top level dude, can he tone down some of that reckless stuff that he usually does in fights? That's the only question I got. And that's the only and I don't know the answer to that, and I won't get the answer until he actually fights a guy like that.
But Errol Spence isn't the dude to make him pay for that though. Because Errol Spence
he is. I'm gonna tell you why.
Singles isn't there though.
But I'm gonna tell you why though.
With singles, not two pieces and three pieces.
I'm gonna tell you why though. Everything that when you fighting a guy that dynamic, the only way you get to that guy is the straight shots and the compact shots. You're not hitting Boots with no bullshit. You're not hitting him with anything wide. You're not hitting him with anything unorthodox. You got to hit him with something straight, and you got to hit him with something compact. And every dynamic, like defensive fighter that's ever lived, whenever they get in trouble, it's either the straight shot or the compact shot. You take Floyd, for example. Every time he got in trouble in his career, it was a straight shots or compact shots. You understand what I'm saying? So it's going to be the same thing. And it's really that's just boxing. And I'm like, Spence is. Go ahead.
Can I get in here for this? For this reason, I disagree with you. For that to happen, you got to set that up. You got to apply feints. We know that this dude does not apply the feint game whatsoever. He is so methodical with the way he pursues his style in boxing. And that's what we talking about Spence. Spence
that's why Jeff was saying the recklessness.
That's why I said the recklessness.
But to make him pay, you have to feint him into that recklessness. You have to
not necessarily.
Hold on. Can we say this? Can we say this? Do we know when somebody playing with their food? We know that. Do fighters play with their food from time to time?
Yeah.
It's certain dishes you don't play with. It's certain dishes you devour it. You enjoy it for what it is.
Boots know that though?
Boots know that though?
Boots know that. When you've been waiting on an opportunity, when you've been waiting on an opportunity as long as he has, I believe he knows that. So through the time that he's in the streets, he's following, he's playing jolly, he's running in between cars and doorbell Dixie and all this kind of shit while he's in the streets.
But this is where it works against Boots also, bro, is because I feel like if he fights Spence, especially early in the fight, he's going to find it very easy because Errol Spence is a real slow starter. So there is a case where he could be building this dude to be so good, again, like we're saying with Denzel Bentley. And after round 1, round 2, round 3, and he's getting so much success, he may think that this dude is easy work for me because Errol Spence start real slow, bro, and Jerome Boots Ennis start real fast. So he might find it so easy where he's just sweeping Spence in the first 3 rounds, and he does get reckless in that after that, thinking that this dude is food. But the reason why I disagree with Jeff is I do agree with you when you say the straight shots, but the problem with Errol Spence is his singles ain't got no power on it, bro. He's looking for 2s and 3s and 4s. And that's why I don't think he's going to make Boots pay. Because you might make Boots pay with a single. You ain't making Boots pay with a 2-3 piece. You got to have a lot of power on a 1 piece.
That's why I said it comes down to Boots. Can he tone it down? We've never seen Boots actually tone it down. And if he's not toning it down, that means he's getting reckless offensively. If he's getting reckless offensively, Spence don't need no feints. He don't need no feints because Boots is going to give him the opportunities because he's being reckless. So
and he's going to get so much success.
And with that being said, it's up to Boots. Spence still needs Boots' help. He still needs Boots' help. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say Spence has the best opportunity to be successful, I'm still not saying it's 50-50. I still favor Boots over Spence. Me personally.
I don't know about that.
I favor him over Spence.
I don't know about that.
Man,
the reason why I don't know about that is because of the second half of the fight.
Okay,
I don't know.
Shane, real quick, and I'm gonna let you cook, vlog. Shane, so you just gave a whole explanation as to why you don't agree that Spence would be that guy to give Boots the most trouble, but then you said you don't know if you would say Boots is the favorite.
But because there's so much things that I don't know about Boots, bro. That's why the jury is out on so many things, bro. Like, to me, I actually think, when I see Crawford versus Boots, it's very simple. If Boots can take Crawford's money shot, Boots is stopping Crawford. I'll tell you that for free. But can he take that money shot? Because I know for a fact, if there's anyone in the division that is going to land a single shot on Boots, it's going to be Crawford, bro. Because regardless of the recklessness, this dude is prolific with landing his punch power. He is one of the most prolific punch power punchers in the division, bro. Maybe in the sport right now, in terms of, like, he lands his power punches at a really high percentage, bud. And I don't know whether Boots is going to be able to take that money shot or not. I don't know. I know Bud has really good punch power for 147.
I can ask you this now: whose chin would you rather bet on? A youthful chin or an older chin? So why wouldn't the question be, can Bud take Boots' power?
You gotta ask that too.
The question?
You gotta ask that too.
That's the first question.
No,
that's the first question. That's the first question because Bud is the older fighter. That's the very first question.
But
and then you hold on. Let me cook. Then you said you rate him as one of the best power punchers in the game, but his record don't say that. Hold up.
Prolific.
Okay. Well, his prolific record doesn't stand up against Boots' prolific record.
It does. It actually does. It does.
Yeah,
so who got a higher knockout ratio?
No, hold on.
No. Let me explain why I'm saying what I'm saying, bro. I know where you're going with this, but for one, Bud has knocked out everybody he's ever fought at 147. And when I mean prolific, bro, it's very simple. If Blunt, if you throw 7 shots, bro, or let's relate it to basketball. You guys know about basketball. If we throw 15 threes and I'm throwing 15 threes and I only hit 3 threes, but you throw 4 threes and hit 3 threes, who's a better shooter? You see my point, bro? I mean it on that level. If you look at the power punch percentage, Bud don't throw a lot of power punches, bro. But the power punches he does throw, because Bud varies his punches a lot. He varies the speed of his punches. If you look at Boots, a lot of the shots that he throws, and not all of it, but he throws a much higher punch power percentage than Bud does. And Bud gets as much knockouts as anyone on a percentage basis than anyone in the division. That's what I mean by prolific. If I'm throwing 15 threes and I get 5 threes a game, it's different if I throw 5 threes and I get 5 out of 5, bro. And that's what I mean by prolific.
What I can counter that percentage with is what is the ending results. So if you throwing up, hold up. If you threw up 15 threes, you hit 4 of them, and we won the game, it's because of those 4 threes you hit. So I'm not going to break down whether technically he's finer. There's an advantage and there's disadvantages that are live. That's numerical, and you can look at it from one side or the other. The advantage naturally is he's the older fighter. The advantage naturally is he hasn't been in there with the competition of Boots. We saying Boots hasn't been in there with the competition of Bud, but I could say the reverse.
Facts.
I could say the reverse. I'm going with the youth. In this game, youth is a big part of it. I know OGs can get out of this situations with their intelligence and boxing at times, but physical to physical, I'm going with the youth and just the bread knowledge. Like, it's not
That's
something
why
that he
I'm
kind
not
of picked.
disagreeing with you. That's why I'm not
Oh no, I ain't
disagreeing
saying
with
y'all
you.
I'm not
disagreeing or
either.
anything.
I'm not
I'm just saying this is why I'm
disagreeing
staying on what I'm standing on my point. These are reasons why.
A vlog.
In argument. Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. Is Bud still in his prime?
We
I
don't
say
know.
yeah.
Let me say this.
I haven't
Big
seen
fight.
slippage. Until I see
No, I'm gonna
slippage,
just
he's
say
still in his
this.
prime.
And again, you can't get slippage fighting the mean machines. I'm just saying. It's
No,
hard to
Mean
get
Machine will be.
slippage.
Hold on, Mean Machine will be a top dude on Boots' resume though. Let's keep it a bean.
Delorme was a top dude on dude resume.
He's not better. He's not better than Machine. He's not better than Mean Machine. He's not.
And I'm gonna put it to you like this: Mean Machine couldn't get rid of the boy Professor. he gonna have mad issues with Boots. So you right as far as name recognition, but competition wise, it's not even. He not going to slip. It's not going to be no slip fall. I didn't get knocked down. It ain't going to be no controversy. Mean Machine ain't going to come close to doing no damage to Boots.
Do you know another issue that you have? Not with your argument in general, but another issue that many people have is with Bud. I don't know where he is in terms of his aging process, because you have certain fighters who are old but they don't have a lot of miles on the clock. You know, they just don't. You know, but I don't know. I don't know about Bud. I don't know if Bud is one of those dudes.
You don't know nothing about older car until you push it. So
That's
Boots in there with that old motherfucker. We gonna find out what he got under that hood. That's all I can say.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact, because it's like, I'll give you an example. Recent example: Joseph Parker versus Joe Joyce. Joseph Parker is younger than Joe Joyce, but Joe Joyce has less miles on the clock. So when you see the fight go down the stretch,
and he hit like a tank. So let's not forget that part. You're right, Dan Shane, but him hitting like a fucking tank is, you know what I'm saying?
I was just using that as an example, though.
Yeah, let me get my man in here real quick. My guy Mark Nash in the building, man. He said, "Jeff, what up, my G? What's going on with you, bro?"
The thing with the thing with Boots is, Boots has 0 miles on the clock. This nigga's like a flipping Mercedes just off the lot, bro. This dude is
like,
fresh.
and that's what, but that's why I asked the question that I asked. I'm like, he's literally, and even though he's had 30 fights, you got to look at the rounds. I don't look at the amount of the guy's fights. I look at the rounds. How many live rounds have you had? Even though Boots has had 30 fights, he hasn't had a lot of live rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He hasn't had a lot of live rounds.
That?
You keep on saying whose fault? Bro, I'm just pointing out facts. Bro, so before I answer your question, is that not a fact? I didn't say it was his fault.
I never said it wasn't a fact.
But can you confirm that's a fact? Can you confirm that's a fact? Okay, so that's a fact. And I'm going to answer your question. No, it's not his fault. But that's why I asked the question of, is it okay for you to ask these things when it comes down to Boots? Because a lot of people say like, oh, well, he got 30 fights. I'm like, he actually doesn't have a lot of rounds in those 30 fights.
Can I say this, Jeff? Mm-hmm. Do you question Jesus?
Hey, bro, I ought to take you off this stream, bro. What is this? An hour 58? I'm clipping this one too. Let me get to Mark Nash, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna have to jump off.
Go ahead, bro.
My phone is on 1% and I can't find my charger.
I'm gonna finish this dude off so we can watch the game, yo. He's out of
my phone's on 1%. So I'm gonna jump
ahead,
off.
bro. Go ahead. Mark Nash, that was Shane, man. Big shout out to Shane. Mark Nash said more experience at the championship level. Bruh is tripping. Boots never got 1 title. Bud has 6. Let me run through them, Blunt, before you respond. This dude is on that gas. Boots' best opponent is Delorme. Dude is wrong in this game. Experience and skills will beat youth, i.e. Mayweather versus Canelo. Mark also said Thurman versus Pacquiao, who won that, youth or experience? Mark Nash, Gabe Rosado beat Beck the Bully, right? Okay, Mark Nash is bringing some smoke, and I'm going to let you respond. Do you need me to repeat any of that?
I can read that shit too, bro.
I'm just asking, I'm trying to cater it to you, brother.
Listen, bro. Everything you saying is all good. I give you that. But none of them people you brought up is Boots Ennis. That's all I'm gonna tell you, bro. You want to know who's Floyd, who's the next Canelo since you brought Canelo up? It's Boots, baby. Boots. It's that simple. All you gotta do is go look at his record, go back and look at his face, look at his training video, look at his state of mind, look at the moves he's making. It's not his fault that these guys haven't answered your questions before now. It's not his fault that these champions are not throwing his name out there as if potential opponent. It seems to be duck artist to me. While you giving the man all of them props, he never said, yo, I need Boots on the Prime Network. I did Boots opportunity to have this big fight. I would like to present that opportunity to him. Since everybody like myself and other pundits are saying this the best 147 pounder in the game right now, title or not. All those accomplishments, I salute Bud on all of that. We talking about right here and right now. You're technically not better than Boots Ennis. You're as good, maybe. We'll have to see. I blame Boots Ennis. If I had to put my money on it, I'm putting my money with Boots. That's how I feel about it, where I'm willing to back it with my money. That's a big difference from just saying Bud can beat Boots. All right, well, put your money on it.
There's a lot of people that feel like I said in the video, like there's a lot of people that think Boots will beat Bud right now. There's a lot of people that think Boots will beat Spence right now. There's a lot of people that think Boots would beat Virgil Ortiz right now. Like he's the king of 147 right now. There's a lot of people that think that. And and the purpose of my video, Mark, I don't know if you watched the video, but I put a video out about Boots Ennis and the guy Rick Glaser. Like, definitely go check that out if you haven't watched it. But I really wanted to find out how many people was thinking like Blunt and how many people was thinking like Rick Glaser. You know what I'm saying? And I would say as of right now, it's a nice mix. I don't know who's over 50% because I haven't read all the comments. There's a lot of comments on Facebook about it, but it's a nice blend. It's a nice mix of opinions in regards to it. But everybody, the one consensus though, is I haven't had one person say that Boots is not that deal. Everybody knows he's that deal. It's really just, are you asking these questions about him? Yes or no? And that's really what it comes down to.
You know what it boils down to? It's just the non-believers to believe. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and it's just
that's to me.
It's more so.
Bunch of casuals.
I think more so. To be honest with you, bro, I think it's more so. I'm getting more of a read of just a lot of people believe he will. They just want to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't read one comment where it was just like, yo, I think he's gonna fold against this dude and that dude and all that. Like, I haven't seen one comment like that. I think people they just want to see the greatness on display, you know what I mean, against one of those dudes. That's and that's more so of a wish than anything else. Like, I wish that Spence would take the fight. I wish he would take the fight. I know he's not, but I wish if I had one wish to throw in, Spence give Boots that opportunity, because it's equivalent to Kell Brook giving him the opportunity. I still think Kell Brook could have ducked Earl Spence to this day. And
bro, if he fight Keith Thurman, this dude the biggest hypocrite in boxing history, bro.
Vlog, can I follow you up on that, bro?
Yeah.
The matter of fact, let me ask you this question. Do you think Spence doesn't get enough criticism for why he doesn't want to fight Keith Thurman? Because I think a lot of other people, I think they would have called it a duck if it was other people saying it.
If it's personal, I could get it. You know what I mean? Personally, maybe, you know what I mean, he tried to lowball him on negotiations or whatever. You know what I mean? You could take that personally. You know what I mean? Somebody try to do you like that. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't giving you no respect before, you know what I mean, you really get to talking. Like, so maybe something like that, or something in the gym, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. It could be personal. I could get him, you know, him like, yo, I ain't giving him that opportunity now that I'm the man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or it could have been the fact that Thurman wasn't trying to give him that opportunity when Thurman was boiling hot in the streets.
And that's exactly what it was. Like, Thurman was just on a different level, and the only reason Spence's name was getting mentioned is because Floyd mentioned it. And
but
that was,
you know what? At the time, can we not say that Spence was the boots? At that time,
exactly.
Spence was the boots. So you kind of see, you kind of can see why Thurman didn't want to, quote unquote, get so dethroned. So, you know what I mean, abruptly.
Yeah, and the thing about that, I would say the difference between the two is that with Thurman, there were two cash cows floating around as well. So
yeah, that's what I said.
He had extra reasons.
A loss would have definitely canceled him for them.
He had to cancel him from the Pacquiao fight, and to cancel him from the Floyd fight. Floyd was
let's just say this. Let's just say this. If it wasn't a cancellation, the bag wouldn't have been the same.
Correct.
If like coming off a loss, let's just say even if the opportunity would have been there, the money amount would have really been worth it. You see what I'm saying? So
correct.
I can kind of see it from a business perspective, which is equivalent to what they talking about with Isaac Cruz right now, and him not saying he would take the dad, saying that they wouldn't take a Shakur Stevenson fight, and I'm not mad at him. It would be similar to Tank, probably would not as less worry from the power side in my estimation, and it just wouldn't be pretty for him. You know what I mean? It'd be a hard fight to win, even though you'd probably be looking like the aggressor. I agree. Styles make fights, and you want this dude to look good. You know what I mean? This dude's supposed to be, you know, the Latin pay-per-view version of a Tank on this platform. So, you know what I mean? You want to put him in the right fights, even though the name looks good, but it's a cross the street name. So just because they say it's mandatory don't mean it's being ordered, don't mean it's going to happen. You can't make these promotions do shit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Mark said, all facts. He said, my IG avatar is a pic of me in boots after I interviewed him and his father, so I'm not hating. Nah, not at all, man. You just pointing out stuff, no doubt. He said a lot of people said that about J-Rock beating Charlo too. Bro, to be honest with you, bro, that buzz was crazy. There was people, a lot of people felt like J-Rock was going to beat Charlo, and a lot of that talk came from Charlo. Like, he prolonged that fight for a minute. I'm not gonna lie, he prolonged that fight for a minute. But yeah, I mean, that's another example for sure. But I think it wasn't a knock against Charlo. It was just people were so high on J-Rock, and a lot of people felt like Charlo was weight draining at 154 as well. So we got to factor that in too. My guy Will Stokes in the building. He said it's so good to see the GOAT give Floyd a shot at big time boxing. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, we gonna close this joint out right here, man.
I have to get ready to go, bro.
Yeah, my man's got it. Yeah, my man's got to get to work. The Eagles about
and
to come
I just finished with school. Oh man, it's 24-hour day right now, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was good, man. I had a good time talking the game with y'all and shit, man, as always.
Yeah, for sure, man. Follow Shane on social media.
Check it out, fam. I'm back active with the Betting on Boxing. I'm trying to, put some clips up, give y'all some little training videos to go with the numbers. First up for this week is Pro Graves and Zapata. Y'all go on to the Instagram at Boxing, the number 1 VLOG. Well, that's ST too, but Boxing, number 1 STVLOG on the gram. You know what I mean? Give your boy some support. I'm hella active on Twitter. I was breaking down that Denzel Bentley Janabek fight, giving my thoughts on it. You know what I mean? So, just follow me on the platforms. Obviously, doing work on the channel with the podcast. I'm gonna try to get back to some weekly betting on boxing things because the schedule's so active, man. It's just hard to do them daily videos like I thought I wanted to or thought I had the energy to do. Just, bro, man, it's no joke, bro. Because there's a lot of time with editing and things like that, and you gotta worry about copyright. So you trying to find the right videos, and it's just not as easy as I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? And just doing flat videos with screenshots, that's kind of played out, bro. So I might try to do a weekly betting on boxing series on the channel, like probably pick like a Friday, get them latest numbers out, you know what I mean, the Saturday before the fight. So I ain't quit on that, bro. So just because you ain't seen the videos on the channel, it's just I'm in this financial banking program right now, bro.
My man, hella busy, man. My man, hella busy for sure, man.
Yeah. So
if y'all knew what we had to go through to actually get to the podcast, man, y'all would give us a round of applause every single time. You know,
bro,
sure.
The computer been on all day, bro. I was on the Zoom during the day. I need to turn this motherfucker off now.
Yeah. Mark Nash said a lot of people. Hold on. Will Stokes said, "So good to see." No, I've read that. Will Stokes, big up, fellas. Mark Nash
Appreciate
said, "Right, J Rock was the man in Philly before Boots." No, J Rock was definitely the man before Boots. Mark Nash says, "Salute, don't be a stranger, Jeff." No, not at all, bro. Said you always welcome at the neighborhood. Appreciate that, bro. Said no excuses. Get it done, Playboy. It's not supposed to be easy. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And that's why, you know what I mean, we always find our way in here, you know, for sure, man. But Mark Nash, big shout out to you. But listen, man, I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything G5 Jeff TV. Y'all know where Vlog at. Y'all know where Shane at. Mark Nash said, round of applause for you guys, man. Man, we appreciate you, good brother.
Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we do it, man. So on behalf of the staff, man, this is episode 144 of the Goodfellas podcast, man. We're going to be back up and cooking tomorrow. Your boy is off tomorrow, so we definitely cooking tomorrow. It's going down. So
yeah, no school tomorrow. So yeah.
Sure, yeah, it's going to be a long one tomorrow.
Let's break down Zapata, see if we can get some film that we can actually use, bro.
Yeah,
get something we can actually use.
Yeah, so we can definitely do some homework.
This gonna be a hella good ass fight, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy fight. That's gonna be a crazy fight, man. So we can definitely do that, man. So on behalf of the staff, man, this is episode 144 of the Goodfellas podcast, man. Episode 145 tomorrow, man. We get with y'all tomorrow. Peace.